We need to leave Toau and go to Fakarava in order to reprovision for Christmas. After this visit, the supply ship, which normally comes every week, will only return in 6 weeks' time, which means we need to make sure we plan our food in order to make it last. We showed you the pass exit in our last video, and now we have a short sail ahead of us and should be able to head straight into Fakarava's North Pass when we arrive. So we're going to fill the genoa so we can head into the wind with the mainsail up. Okay boys, you're up. There we go. Make them use a bit of their muscle, burn off some energy instead of grinding it in. Two of them can pull it in. Go boys!
With the sails set, it is time for some fishing, and Dylan takes up the challenge.
Okay, so is that the lure you're going to use? Yeah? No?
Yes, I mean, I don't know.
Well, what do you mean you don't know? Oh, you aren't you? You should know. Are you going to throw that lure over the side or not? Can I hold the rod for you or anything? Oh, looks. Right, the plan is to catch a nice tuna fish. Should we hook on, we're going to have to
Tuna fish.
catch a nice tuna. And should we hook on, we're going to have to fill the genoa to slow the boat down, and then probably just point up into the wind a little bit with the main up, just to slow it down as much as possible, and then leave it up to Dylan to bring in the tuna. Got it right that time. Oh, we're having a great sail here to Fakarava. We've been doing 6 knots plus. So we should be there in about an hour and 15 minutes. It's 8.8 nautical miles to go. You can just see it on the horizon there, probably not on the GoPro image. But there are quite a few, well, we've seen one other yacht go in, and there are 3 anchored just inside the North Pass. So a few boats here. We'll see them no doubt as we go in. But it's quite a nice sail. We've got the genoa out, full genoa out, and then we've got full mainsail. And really enjoying the sail. So obviously the pass exit wasn't great, but now that we're out here, the conditions are really quite perfect now that we're further away from the atoll, because the closer we were to the atoll, you've got that steep incline, and the sea, or the swell, is actually hitting that incline and creating quite an unsettled sea state. So if you've got 11 knots or 10 knots of wind, swell going through the underside of the boat, it tends to rock the boat and it will knock the wind out of the mainsail. So we had that for probably about 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then we were out of that, and now we really are having quite a nice sail. Nothing yet on the fishing line.
From Toau, and we've arrived perfectly at slack tide. There's some dive boats over there in the pass, and the water all looks good. It's a good entry.
A very much calmer entrance than the exit that we had earlier. So yeah, enjoying this. We've got a dive boat just to go around the front over there, and then we're going to turn off to port so we can put the genoa back out again and sheet on the mainsail, and hopefully have a nice sail into our anchorage. But yeah, obviously coming in here we've got to be careful of these divers and make sure that they don't decide to surface directly in front of us whilst we're under sail and motoring.
We've just come through the North Pass here, through the point, and turned to our port side. And we're having a tracking sail now, going a nice 6 knots, sheeted in the main. We've got lots of boats here anchored, which we've never seen before, where they're all anchored in wind, so they're all taking advantage of diving in the North Pass. Maybe we should stay here the night, because we've never been able to stay here. It's always too rough.
We decide to stay at the North Pass entrance Anchorage for the first time, and we make our way to find a space between the other yachts.
Yeah. The next morning we see the supply ship arrive, and we know that if we aren't there in time we'll miss out on all the great fresh fruit and vegetables.
As soon as the anchor is down, we launch the dinghy and make our way ashore, as we can see that the supply ship is already on the dock. It's very busy on the dock, and everyone's making sure they have their supplies for the holidays.
As soon as the shopping is done, we depart through the North Pass again.
So we've just left Fakarava. We're up at the northern end of Fakarava, and we're heading towards the North Pass. So we're going to exit the North Pass this morning, probably about 6:15 in the morning. And so exit the North Pass this morning, and then we're going to head up to Toau again, and we're going to spend Christmas Day there, and Boxing Day the wind is due to start coming more from the northwest, which is going to be make it an uncomfortable anchorage. So we'll probably head back down to Fakarava North Pass on Boxing Day, and that's if the wind picks up, of course. Come back down here and we'll just park the boat here in the lee of this motu over here, get some shelter for a couple of days whilst the northwest wind blows, and then we're probably going to head back up north again to, well, we'll stop off in Toau again, and then we'll make our way hopefully all the way up to Rangiroa via a few other atolls, and we'll just take a slow sail up to Toau. The wind will be almost behind us, so we're probably just going to have the Genoa route, as there's no point racing up there anyway, because we'll be there well ahead of the slack tide. We've just exited, and we're going to make our way closer to Toau. So we're approaching the entrance to Toau now, and we can see that there's quite a lot of unsettled water out there, and the current's still coming out. The plan is to go in the pass over there. It looks pretty flat from the back here, but never quite sure until you're closer, but we still have the option to bail out. So we've got both engines on, and we're going to go a little bit closer, and if need be we'll turn around and sail back down the coastline a little bit, and then we'll make our way in a bit later again, if it's settled down a bit.
Heading into Tuamotus Pass. We're a little bit ahead of slack, about 2 or 3 hours ahead of slack. 2 hours ahead of slack. You can see the main part of the pass is very turbulent there, but we're going through this little channel on the side. The passes are always good to not go through the middle, always go through the side, because that's where the current is less.
We make it through the pass safely and head towards the southern part of the atoll, where we haven't been before. Claire and Dylan keep an eye out for bommies with polarized sunglasses on, as the charts can't mark all the bommies which keep changing in these atolls.
We pick up a mooring in the sheltered southeast corner of Toau and launch the drone to get an aerial view. Sadly, the drone wasn't functioning very well, with alarms sounding from the controller. Sean landed it as quickly as possible so that it didn't go for a swim.
Hopefully catch some trevally and stuff. There's some nice bluefins, snapper, gold trout. Give you a second chance. Catch something. And, maybe
Time to head ashore for some cast fishing off the beach and rocks.
Right, here we go. So let's see who can hook into the first fish. Should we have a launch time so it's a fair start?
Right now.
Okay, so I can tell you that Dylan has just caught the first fish between the three of us out here. He's using his own homemade lure, which is having more success than 2 purchased lures, all shiny and beautiful. So homemade lure 1, purchased lures 0. So what did you catch?
A grouper. Came just. I saw him following all the way across the coast, and then he hit it. It wasn't very big, it didn't pull much, but it was nice. Unhooked him, I threw him back. Yeah.
Great. And so what now?
So now, Dad does the dishes for me tomorrow.
That was the competition. Whoever caught the first one didn't have to
Yeah,
do the dishes. Jeez. Oh man, I just didn't get it to record in time. Wow. Dill, that's a lure and a half.
That was pretty big.
Let's see your homemade lure. Come, show us quickly.
I'm happy he unhooked. He was going to snap my
What
arm.
was that?
It was a grouper, but I couldn't stop him from going into his house.
Yeah. So Dylan made this setup on board Macaro, and that's working a treat. We've had to make some minor adjustments to it this morning, but absolutely perfect by the looks of things. Caught 1 snapper already here, and just hooked this grouper here, which thankfully came undone because he went straight into his little hole.
Dylan almost catches another one, still using his homemade lure.
Oh, there's a whole load there.
Lots of fish are showing interest in the lure. Will he catch another one?
That's good.
Jeez,
Okay.
took some time. No, but I knew
Yeah.
he would.
Worked out alright. So what was that, a Roy?
Well, in Hawaiian it's a rooiber.
And in,
It's called a peacock kind.
but it didn't have the 3 stripes we were talking about on the peacock
No,
kind.
they
Is it too
can
young,
turn-
juvenile?
They can turn it on and off. The whole thing. The whole thing.
The boys cleverly made a lure with a beer bottle lid, which they clamped over the line next to the hook. This also worked well.
We're in the south side of Toau. And we have just come, Makara is just in the distance on a mooring there. There's 5 moorings in this area. We found some turtle tracks. We think yeah, it must be turtle tracks. I'm not sure if the camera will pick up in the coral, but you can clearly see where his little flippers have dug into the coral. And is there a nest there? Wow, he came over some harsh coral here, and there's his nest. I don't see any little old shells from eggs. I don't know how those babies get out of this coral. Wow. More turtle
We see a
tracks.
lot of turtle tracks on this beach, and this one looks particularly big. It must be such a struggle for them to carry their heavy weight up the beach and then
Big
back
one.
down
She
again.
must have come in here at high tide, because to come over these rocks couldn't have been easy. I hear the tracks going up. Wow, she dug a big hole. I wonder if these ones have hatched. But you can always normally see, when we were in Panama we saw the cracked eggshells of hatched turtle eggs, but here I haven't seen any hatched, eggshells.
So what do you think, Bill? Good place?
This beach is a lot sandier than the ones where the turtles laid their eggs. You have to wonder why they don't come here rather than the coral. This is a great place for us to explore and very sheltered, so we decided to spend the day here.
As we came in on the dinghy, right on the water's edge, actually where my feet are, is a stingray. You can see it, he's just moved back a little bit. Not sure if you'll see him on the camera. You can probably see his tail extending out the back there. But a nice small little one, swam off for a bit and then came back here. So we're going to go and have a little explore now, see what we can find, maybe head towards the outer reef a little bit, but I don't want to leave the dinghy here for too long unattended, so it'll be a quick little exploration, and then we'll come back and probably head back to Fakarava for a sundowner. It's so nice to explore these little beaches and coves really, which is quite unusual here. We haven't seen anything as secluded as this really. Beautiful setting with Fakarava in the background. Baby sharks, stingrays. Wow, good place.
We found an old structure which looks worse for wear, and there are no signs of people here.
Oh, we were just walking along the beach and we discovered this little house. We're calling out bonjour to say hello, but no answer, no rana. But I don't think anybody's here. But he's really got a beachfront property here. It's quite incredible amongst all these palm trees. He's right on the water's edge. Quite a place. But there is nobody here. A lot of these wash up on shore as well, these fishing buoys. Literally hundreds of them. And if you're coming out to the Tuamotus, that's what you can use to float your chain. It's haircut day, so Claire's armed with scissors, clippers and everything else like that. And we're just looking for a good location for a haircut. And this is probably one of those perfect locations. It's right on the beach here. Some rocks to sit on, looks a bit uncomfortable, but what a setting to have a haircut. I don't think there are many places in the world that offer a haircut service with a view like this. Nathan's trying to identify the perfect spot for the haircut. But where are you, Nathan? Are you in the bushes now? You think? I don't think we can do a haircut in there, can we? We need some shade. Under there? No, that's incredibly uncomfortable. For a haircut! Come back out! Oh, you've gone Panama style.
Nathan's hair grows in all different directions.
Tell you what, Nathan, you're never going to get a haircut in a place like this again, once we're off the boat, that is. Hey? Yeah, Christmas Eve haircut, smartening up for Father Christmas's visit. I've also been smartened up a bit.